Welcome to the show. As we go along here today, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be painting this guy. That's what it looks like right there. So I got my projection up there so I can look at what I'm doing as I'm doing it. We'll get that going. Keith, how's it going today? Good to see you on the show. Jan the Janimal. What the heck is going on with you, Jan? What have you been up to? Good to see you here. I'm going to get my headset going so we get better audio. And let's get this thing rocking. So we've got some new artwork started here. I got good. You guys can hear me now? Anyone can hear me? Type yes or give me a shout out or the finger or something if you can hear me. Make sure that should be. So anyway, what I've got going on today. This camera back around the studio. It's just some more artwork. So we're gonna do like a multiple day. We'll be doing this most of the week until this one's done. This was a new commission I got. I was on, actually I wasn't on, but there's a podcast called The Tom Woods Show, and he did a commercial for me because I got my website, matkstudio.com. I got that through his link on his site, so he gave me a shout out. I got some work from it. So if you have a chance to go listen to the Tom Woods Show, go give it a check, go give it a shot. It's pretty cool. But this is a drawing I got from that advertisement, so it's pretty cool. I'll be doing a lot more of this. I've been doing more of the card show season started, so I started doing some of the shows. We just got some new cards made that have, I'll show you right here, some of the new cards. You've got the QR code on there. That takes you direct to my website. And that's something new I'm trying. We'll get that, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that'll be rather lucrative. So, I put an ad out last week talking about Mother's Day for those of you out there that have moms or looking for something to get them. A lot of moms have cool cars and motorcycles. We can do paintings of that. We can do paintings of pets, animals, and I'll give you an idea. I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Let me pull this up on my computer once. Joe Tillman is watching. Sound is good. Thank you, sir. I'm going to switch over to my. Let me get some pictures up here that are more interesting. We'll get going. Facebook Live there. Bear with me just a second as I get some pictures up. So if you're looking at something done like this, for Mom, for Mother's Day, I'll show you that. It's not just cards. So we can do all this kind of stuff too. So if you've got something coming up for Mom's Day, I still got room. I can do. Oh, it's coming up in a couple weeks, but I could probably take orders for about 2 of these. These go. They're 11 by 14 in size on canvas. They've been pretty popular. I've done a whole bunch of them. I did this one. I've done some cats. I'll show you the cat ones I've done. This was one I just did for folks at work. That was pretty cool. Let's see here. It's not a cat. It's another dog. That one, we've got cat, my sister Cat. Sister Kathy. And a couple of cats. So we just did some really cool pictures of those. I'm going to show you these. I really like how this one came out. This is one of my favorite painting I've done probably so far. Is this one here. It really came out cool. But let's see. Lips are moving, not hearing. No sound. Sound is bad. Well, that's not good. I don't know why the sound would be bad. It should be good. It should be better now. Is that better? We'll see. We shall see. Hold on. I think they might have turned the sound off because I had some music going. So hold on just a second. Bring it back here. Anyway, is there sound now or is it gone? We'll take a look here. Maybe Facebook is banning me because I have music playing. Should be good. Should be good. Any sound? Didn't have sound. All right, let's see. Really faint sound. Gail is watching. Oh, I see what happened. Hold on, hold on. How's that? Sound better now? Sound should be better. I pinched so my phone holder that I have here, I pinched the volume button down, so the sound should be much better now. Is that better? Let me know in the comments. There's a little delay between when I film and what you're seeing, so hopefully the sound is better now. So if you're watching, let me know. So I want to get going, get rocking on this. But I gotta have sound because you're not gonna hear what I have to say, and it's important. So let's see. We're gonna start. I think we're just gonna get started here. We'll get started on the drawing. Again, let me know. Sounds like Mike is far away. Let's see. Sounds like Mike is far away. Is that better? It should be working just great right now. All right, I'm gonna get that going now. Let's see. We're gonna flip this camera around, get a shot onto the drawing, we'll get started on it. That's what you want to see it. Is that better? We should be able to be rocking pretty good now. I'll speak up. I'll speak loudly so that it makes sense. We can go from there. And that is, expand that sound. I've got my laptop over here near me, so if you have questions, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the laptop. So people ask questions. Remember, like I said, there's a little bit of a delay, so give me a second to answer if something pops up. I'll see it. So hopefully the sound will be getting better. It should be like super good, but it's not. Then I'm gonna change some things. Anyway, we're gonna get started. So this drawing here is an old Yamaha, pretty cool old bike, and a gentleman on it riding it, and I'm doing this for this guy's son to give to him. And he's in the Midwest somewhere too. So I'm going to get going. I'm going to start out really just doing some of the dark areas and just laying some color down. And we'll get going there. Talk about some car shows and things like that coming up. What people are up to. So I'm going to start out with 80%. This is an 80% marker. Let's see there. Right in there. Here's the color, cool gray, 80%. So this is also the first time with my new camera, my new phone doing a live one. So let's see how this goes. But we're going to start here. Now one thing I do, as you can see, I've got the image projected on a big board here, so I can really see it. So let's see. Let's see right here. I wonder if I'm going to turn off my headset. We'll see if that makes a difference. Is that any better, Joe? You hearing it any better now? It might be just it didn't pick up. It wasn't picking up my phone. So you guys let me know. I'm gonna try this one more time. Nope, not any better. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try this one more time.
Okay, now I'm connected. That should be better. Do we have a good connection now? Hopefully. If not, this is just going to be more of a drawing tutorial. So we're going to start in here with this. And I'm not trying to get the thing super dark. I'm just putting in some color right now because I need to get darker and I need to get lighter later. So this is just to lay in a little bit of color as a foundation to the drawing. Which is what we'll be doing here. Very cool. So, alright, so it's better. Excellent, it's better. I hope everyone can hear me now. So, for you guys that don't live around here, I live right in Wisconsin, kind of northwest of Minneapolis, and they do something called the Coon Rapids Boulevard Cruise, which is pretty freaking cool to go to. It's all the cars get together, and there's a 4-mile stretch where everyone just goes and drives, and we've been starting that up and getting that going, which has been pretty good. I like to go to those cruises because it gets you fired up. I've been working on my car. I've got that 72 Cutlass I'm building in my garage. I've been working on that quite a bit. Trying to get the body off. It's going to be pretty exciting. I wish I had a rotisserie. There was a guy that had a rotisserie for rent for $50 a month, but I can't find them now. I wasn't going to use it before, but then now I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, better. I've got a bunch of barrels that I'm going to put the body on. You know, just I'll put the barrels down and then put a board between them and put the body sounding on there. And that'll give me something to work with. Hopefully, but I want to get the body off of that. I gotta get my heads off, get a new cam. I have to pick my cam. Anyone have any ideas for cams out there? Let me know. I've got a 455 out of a 69 Delta 88. It's got C heads. I'm going to be putting the large valves in there and hardened seats so I can run the good oil, or run the good gas, run the bad gas, I should say, that we have. And cause it's a pretty high compression. I think it's 10.5 to 1, 455. So it should make. I'm hoping to make about 400 to 450 horse. And I just scored a 411 rear end for it. Well, not just scored. You guys might have seen, if you've seen my Cutlass 2.0 channel. If you go to my Facebook page, I have one called Cutlass 2.0. You can go and check out. And that one is I got a lot of cool stuff on there. That's basically the story of my car that I'm building and what I'm doing to it and all that. So, wheels are black on the inside here. Now this is just, like I said, all I'm doing here is throwing in some color. So this is the mindless kind of work, which is nice to kind of talk to you guys. Every once in a while you hear me just shut the hell up, and that means I'm right in the middle of doing something that I need complete concentration in. So if I do go quiet for just a minute, it's not that I'm avoiding y'all. It's just that I was in an area that needed a little more focus. So for all you motorcycle guys out there, this bike, it's a Yamaha X, it's a little 500, I guess it is. Kind of a neat bike. I like Yamahas. It was my first bike, was a Yamaha XS650, which then I had many of those. While I was putting that bike together, I got my second bike, which was actually the first bike I rode, which was a Honda CM400E, which was just another little twin. Fun bike, though. I stripped it all down, lowered the back end about 3 inches. Anything that didn't relate to it running was taken off the bike, so I had it was really cut down. I think it would rev to like 9,000 RPM. I remember racing my buddy Corey on his 750 Triumph chopper and beating him. That was a cool little bike. We got it for free, and then I just fixed it up. We got it running and drove it. It's cool. It was fun to drive. I liked it, and that's how I got started in motorcycles. Basically, it was that thing. Wasn't the first bike I rode. The first bike I rode was a Seika 650 when I was in college, and of course we were in college, and you know, I might have had a beer or 7, and my buddy shows up with his bike. He's like, "You want to ride? You want to try it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how do you ride it?" And he goes, "1 down, 4 up." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I had no idea what he meant. I didn't know what 1 down, 4 up meant. And for those who don't ride, one down, four up is the way you shift it. You press, one down is first gear, and then you stick your toe under the shifter and pull it up 4 times, and that's the other gears. Each time you hit it's another gear, and neutral is in between that last one that you push down and the first one you pull up. So I didn't know any of that, and I took it and I drove it around the parking lot at school, and then I came back and stopped talking to him, and I was like, I did okay. I didn't shift it or nothing, because I didn't really understand how to. And then so when I got over there and stopped, and he was like, "Oh, what'd you think of that?" I'm like, "That was awesome," and I let go of the clutch, and the bike went flying. But that's what do you do? Stupid stuff when you're in school. But that was my introduction into riding a motorcycle. Was that? And I think the next bike I actually rode was my buddy's Harley. I mean, I'd ridden like dirt bikes and little things like that, but an actual real road bike. And the Harley had no front brake. It was a shovel head. It was pretty cool. But that was my introduction into to biking, was doing that. Now let's see here. I'm gonna grab my picture that's a little more intense. Give me just a second here. Yeah, so it's an SR500 is what the bike is. And that's what I'm working with right now. I've got a more detailed shot of it here that I can use for some of the finer details. So I put that up on my computer so I can get right in there and get really close detailing of what I want to do in there, like the brown of the shoe and the color of this thing. But first I usually go with the blacks and kind of lay the basis down. And this is actually not a black like I was showing you before. It's a gray. But we're going to go in where the seat is and add a little darkness in there. But I want to stay out of where this is light on top. I want to make sure I don't get that blasted in there. So we're just going to go in and lighten that up. So anyway, I rode and that was when I worked at Wizard Custom Studios, which was a custom bike painter. The late Bruce Bush, the late and great Bruce Bush, was a guy who used to he showed me how to do all this custom painting and a lot of stuff I know how to do now. He showed me the processes and how that all worked. And then I rode his bike. We did some cool bikes. There's a band out here called Jackknife and the Sharps, and the leader of that band had a Moto Guzzi that we made into a super cool track bike, which was pretty neat. I don't have any pictures of that one around, otherwise I'd show you something, but that was a cool bike. And I got to ride that one a little bit too as we were building it, to do some test riding and whatnot. So that's that. Inside of here is going to be dark. That's the top of the fender. There's some stuff going on in there. I'll go back. I'm just throwing in a little bit of stuff back there. Now in front of the leg, let's see if I can get this sharp in there a little bit. I know this is a strange angle, but that's all right. Diana, hey, how you doing? So Diana had we pinstriped her Mustang last summer. It came out really cool. Did some really fun stuff on it, something a lot different than we normally would do on the pinstriping. I really liked it. That came out cool. So hope you guys are doing well. I'm sure we'll see you at the cruise night this year. I thought I saw you last night. There was a yellow one out there like your car, but it was not. It was still naked. It was not striped, so I knew it wasn't you guys. I waved anyway. What the hell? And let's see that right there, and it's not nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. We're gonna go dark in front of this. Dun, 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 dun. So what are people working on? What kind of projects you got going on there? Hey Dave, good to see you. Like I said, Joe's still in here, maybe. Diana, Greg, Keith. I thought I saw Gail. That's my aunt Gail. Kenny, Janet. Hello, everyone. Jan, Steve Hanscom's watching. Steve just kicks in. Hey, Steve. One of my buddies out here just bought a 70 Monte Carlo. I tagged Nick in a picture of it. It's a pretty cool car. It's it's barn fresh, but it's pretty rust free, and he's gonna need a lot of parts and things like that. But you should check that out. His name is Max. He's got a Roadmaster wagon too, so obviously he's got good taste. Anywho, we're gonna be putting some more, making sure you can see what I'm working on here. I'm putting this in here, and we are live. So let me reset what we got going on here. This room, I'll be starting up as I do these drawings and things like that. I do them live because it kills two birds with one stone. One, it's nice to talk to people and see what they got going on. What kind of projects you guys are working on? Anything cool going on this summer that people are working on that have any interest? Let me know. This is the place. This is the time. I know a friend of mine. Well, it's actually I don't know if Mr. Treebold is still watching, but your dad got that tea bucket. That's pretty badass. I just saw that. He's 70 some years old and buys it. Just got a tea bucket, which I think is just awesome. Super cool. That being said, we've got these things happening here. One of the things I was talking about earlier when I didn't have sound was Mother's Day. So Mom's Day is coming up, and if your mom has a pet or something like that, and she would like, or maybe she would like it, or maybe you would like to give it to her, is a drawing of said pet or a painting. I've been doing quite a few of them lately, and I'm really enjoying it. And they really come out nice. They're reasonably priced. I can work from any kind of, halfway decent photo. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. I get a couple more of these here while this is wet. You got to move this paint around while it's wet, and it just makes it work better. Anyway, so let's get that. Let me get some pictures in there for you. So what I was talking about was pictures like this. So here's one here that I finished recently of a dog. So if you're looking for something like that to get done, you can hit me up there too for that as I'm working on the rest of this stuff. Of course, I always love doing cars and bikes and things like that, and that's my main source of art inspiration. I do have some other paintings and things that I'm working on, but I've got room to. I could take probably 2 more commissions before Mother's Day if you wanted something, especially if you're local and you can pick it up and you don't have to worry about mail. But I think Mother's Day's 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now. So if I can pick up 2 more of those this week, then I can get them done for you. If not, they'll be late, but we can still get them done if you're interested. So don't be shy. Tell all your friends. Anyway, we're going back into here. We're going to start in the front wheel and get some of the darkness in here. As we go through, here we go, right around. So this one I'm working on. So I use these colored markers and colored pencils. They're Prismacolor markers, just like that. Fantastic markers. I've been using these since the 80s. Some of the ones I have are still around from the 80s, and that's the real deal. So I've got that we're working on. I get started on this. I just throwing some color in there, and I'm not really even being all that careful, to tell you the truth, at this level, because it's I'm just getting some color down. Those front fenders are chrome, so I don't want to violate that fender with the dark colors here yet, because it's all reflections. And as I go over, I'll show you this too. So the front, this one you really see the tread clearly. So the reason why I'm using a dark it's not totally black. I mean, you can see through it. You can still see through the pen lines. So when I'll go right over the top of this, but then I'll still be able to come back later and see the lines through this as I'm working. So, see if I can't get a better shot of what I'm doing here without Messing everything up. There he goes. All right. Scott and Chuck, hello. Welcome. If you're new here, don't be shy. Go ahead and let me know where you're from and what you're up to this weekend. Anyone got any project cars going that you building it? Jan, if you're still in here, are you building anything? The Jan Zam. You were a Pontiac guy for a long time. Yeah, I gotta come around here. There we go. Now we've got some color going in there. Trying to do this without smashing into the phone as I'm filming here. Oh, I almost forgot. I've got to turn on the GoPro for doing my time lapse. I do time lapse videos on that. Any of you guys that are normal or that are regulars to my channel know I do time lapse videos of most of these things. And so many times I forget to turn the time lapse on. And one of those times is right now. So I take this camera here. You know, I got my little GoPro. I'll turn it on, put on time lapse. Come on now. All right, so we'll get that turned around. We're going to go to time lapse. Not ProTune. We don't need ProTune. I want time lapse. Time lapse video right there. So we're going to go into the time lapse. Now we can go in interval. We're going to do every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds it's going to snap a picture down there. This is how I set up my time lapse stuff. So learning the tricks of the trade, secrets of the trade. So we'll set that up about like that, so we can see the whole board. There we go. And you'll see the camera down here. So when you see the time lapse, you'll see this camera go in and out all the time. So right now I just hit go, and that'll start right there, and away we go. So now the time lapse will be started. And when the drawing's all done, I'll put it all together, and usually it's about a 2 or 3 minute time-lapse video of the drawing being made. And if you want to see more of them, you can go to my YouTube channel. I've got them all on there. I did put them on this channel too, but the YouTube channels are most of them are. I'm just readjusting the phone here. See if we can't get a little better shot of what I'm doing. There it is. That's better. But yeah, so you just go to Mad K Studio on YouTube, and you can see a lot of those time-lapse videos. They're kind of fun to watch. And some of them explain how I do what I do. Some of them explain what how to get a drawing done, how to order, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so it's been cold. It's freaking freezing here today in Minnesota. I wanted to do some riding this weekend. Even yesterday was pretty chilly. But today is just awful. And tomorrow's supposed to be 70 degrees and rainy. Not beautiful, but warmer anyway. So I'll take that warmth for sure. And so these wheels have some real dark areas in them. They're actually black. But I lay this in there as the beginning stages. And we're going to keep this thing going for probably, I don't know, I've got, let's see, what time is it now? It's 4:27. I'll probably run this till about 5 o'clock. If you have questions or anything you want answered, anything you want to see, let me know, because I will answer anything you possibly need to know about drawing old Yamahas. All right. And the bikes, when I do the bikes, they usually take quite a bit longer than the cars do because there's so much more detail that goes into the motorcycles and goes into the cars. Especially these kind of bikes. Some of the new cars, there really isn't a heck of a lot of detail that goes into them. So I put all the time into really working with the feel of it and trying to get the right shine and sheen to the vehicle. Whereas these old ones have so much detail in them. Really the only shiny part on it's the tank. And the fenders, of course, the fenders are chrome. So, to show this as chrome. And up here is a lighthouse that's from the local Pine Island, or not Pine Island. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the email of where it was. But it's a really cool lighthouse. He sent me some pictures of. I'm like, ooh, let's incorporate that. We'll put that in there. And we're going to have some sun rays coming through the clouds and things back there. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do in coloring yet. If that's going to be just a black and white background, or it'll actually have some color to it. I haven't decided. I might do some subtle colors, but when I do these kind of style of drawings, I like to have the background be more muted and not be in full color. I just think that it has a better look to it when I do it that way. It really makes the car or bike that I'm drawing be the hero of it, Everyone wants to be a hero. So that's cool. So other things that we've got going on are wondering if you guys are going to any what do you call it, shows or anything this year. If it's open, I know that we're going down to, I think, Myrtle Beach. I think Myrtle Beach is just about starting to happen, in Panama City, and then we're gonna have Sturgis, Daytona. We got back from Daytona, the company Ciro that I work for and helped found. But I don't know if you guys are going anywhere. If you are, where you headed out this summer? What's happening? Are we going to do anything, or is COVID going to shut everything down again? What a bunch of crap. We got to get this thing over with. Let's all just get it and be done. Jeez. It's really cramping my style. So, that'll probably get me banned. We shall see. Alright, let's get some. This is all darker in here too. This is a whole axle. It's a little hard to see where I'm drawing. I really need to get a better setup to mount the phone for doing these. I'd much rather have it be right up here. Whoops, hanging down so you can see it. Just give you an idea of what we got going on. It takes quite a while to do these. They take a little bit at a time. So you guys are basically keeping me company. I hope you don't mind. Readjust my phone again. There we go. That's a little better. And the back side of that. And the back side of this disc is actually pretty dark too. I'll add light to it again. Gotta make it dark before I make it light. I do this on. This is actually done on an illustration board. It's a pretty thick board actually. You can see the thickness there. But it absorbs the. It's got a little texture to it. The board does, and it really absorbs the markers very well. Do that. Go around like this because I want to put some texture in those discs, because they should have texture in them. And I know the rest of you motorcycle guys are going, the texture's going the wrong way. Don't worry, it'll go the other way too. You need it to go both ways in order to get the right effect. Which we'll do with pencils later on in the week. I mean, most of this is, just like I said, it's just really laying down some groundwork and some colors. Now let's see where else we got here. Those are black. These are black up here. This is gets. There's a little bit of the light's chrome. this is chrome, so this is the mount for the light. Triple trees are black. Rims of these are black. So we're gonna get a little color in there. And then we're gonna go, the rim around here is kind of a black color. And then his coat has a lot of darkness to it. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna go in there and darken up where the dark is. It's basically like in here. And this is gonna get smudgy because I want it to look like leather, and leather doesn't have a perfectly smooth look to it. It's got different colorations and things. So we're gonna bring that in that way. And most of the bottom of this little arm pad there. And there's a dark shadow there. Let's see. It's dark just in the front of his arm. Darkness, and a lot of this will be done with colored pencil later. We're going to add quite a bit of detail in with that. A lot of detail in with that. You don't even see what I'm working on. Look at there. How rude of me. There we go. And this right here, this is a real dark spot right in front. There we go, there we go, there we go. And we're going to get real dark here under his arm. I'm going to find some delineation in there. Okay, so up in here, this is a real dark spot. Again, everything I'm doing right now is going to end up being black later on. But for right now, it can just be dark. Darker than the rest. Especially the shadow under the helmet. And then this arm, we're going to have, this gets real dark in here. So this is the side of his body, kind of right here, and then this is his arm, so you're going to start to delineate those areas. Actually, most of the bottom of this arm here is pretty dark. So it leads up to his hand. And up in here, we've got a pretty big crease right around here. That's a pretty solid crease that goes through. And this is it a light part or a dark part in that picture? What did I do here? That comes up and that comes up. So this should be dark right here. This is a dark part. You know, so as I'm going through the picture, you can see up there the big picture, the darks and whatnot that are all up in this area is all what I'm working on. You can see a little better here. These are all pretty subtle, but I'm just getting the darks in right now, just to start to. It's kind of a guide for the rest of it when I get a lot's got to go lighter and a lot's got to go darker. So this is just how I get started with it. So that's a light spot up here. We've got a real dark edge here. The wrinkled leather is pretty tricky. There's a lot going on in wrinkled leather. That comes down, and this gets dark, and this whole dark comes down like that. I'm gonna bring this. Actually, I can get the big side of the pen here for this part. I go through the 80, 70, 80, 90% markers. That's what this is. I think I showed you earlier. It's an 80% cool gray. I go through a lot of these. Quite a few, actually. So then the top of that other arm. Now this picture is actually pretty low res. You know, I usually like to work from a higher resolution picture, but this one there was enough contrast to it that it would work. Otherwise, I would have said I couldn't work from this shot. But I'm able to make it happen because it's just enough. And I brought it into Photoshop and kind of enhanced the picture to start with, so that what I had to start with was kind of high contrast, which I like to start with something that has a lot of contrast because it makes it easier to see what it is, and then I can put the details and the fine details into it. So this, now that gets dark right around there. Towards the bottom here, it gets like that. It's going to be under his arm. It's darker back in there. This gets dark and then light and then dark again. You can see every time I go over to layers, it makes it a little bit dark, a little more interesting to watch. Right? Yeah. It's working. So now you start to see the shape of the coat and the coloring of the coat come together. I'm going to get, let's see, this gets dark right there too. This coat kind of comes down to that lower area. I think that's about it. It comes around. This is all coat. And now I'm going to get some sort of blue going to go into those jeans. I think I'm going to start out with a non-photo blue. We're going to try a little bit of this out in a dark area, see if I can get that. Yeah, that's a good start to it. A good start. Again with this. This is just a blue that I'm going to come back. I want to get some texture into the pants itself. I'm not trying to color it all in right now. I'm just trying to get a little texture in there. And have the lines kind of roll with the shape of the pants, right? So these are blue jeans, and this is just a non-photo blue, which is super light, and you can barely see it as blue. But as I go through there, you'll see that this will all start to make sense here in a minute. As we get darker and darker. There we go. Some wrinkles in there. So there's that seam. You start to see that seam and the wrinkles start to appear. A little bit back there. We've got some wrinkles back here that come and go. And we'll darken that all up later, but that lays the basis down. You know, you're getting the basics of the colors going on there. Scott, the Tiki Punisher is watching. Tiki Punisher, excellent, excellent. Brady, Jana, I think I said Chuck anyway, but welcome to the Mad Case Studios little version of what we're doing. So I'll give you a little reset here. Kind of this is, you can see where this is going and where it came from. Is there's the I got this projected. I use a little projector here so I can see really well, and that's the thing. And then I have my computer down here to do the more detailed shots. So that's what I'm working on. We got about another, let me see what time it is here, about another 15 minutes to go working on this live, and I will be, check back with me because I'll be doing these live pretty much, well, maybe not all week, but a good amount of the week we'll be doing these. As I want to get this one, I'd like to get this drawing done this week. And like I had mentioned before, if you're new and you're looking for something, a gift for somebody, I've been doing a lot of that lately, with doing gifts like this for people. And I don't only do vehicles, but I don't do people. I don't do portraits of people, but I do pets. So if you get pets or a horse or something like that, go check out my page. They're all on there. You can see some of the things I did, and I've got a Mother's Day special running right now. And I can take probably 2, maybe 3 more commissions for Mother's Day if you want something special for Mom's Day. And look at the pinned post on the top of my Facebook page. You can see what I'm talking about. And if it's something that you'd like, let me know. And if we can do something for you, great. And if you need to wait longer, or not sure what to want to do, you just want to talk about an idea you might have for a piece of art, let me know, because I will work with you. So now I'm going to go back into the engine here, and now I'm using a little darker 90% cold gray. There we go. Cold gray, 90% grain Prismacolor. The king of markers. I'm just going to put these in. What I'm doing is I'm just darkening in between where the fins are on the motorcycle. Not all the way dark. Not all the way black, because they're not all the way black. But dark enough. And then I'll go back around and do all the detailing with some more marker work. Some washes of different colors of marker. Let's see what that motor looks like. And I got some close-up pictures of the engine too, so I can really get to the details later on. But right now I'm just laying in some color. Kind of get a feel for the edge of it is too. There we go. Up in here, this should be dark. All kinds of fun stuff on motorcycles. And I don't have great pictures of these, so this one's going to be, I only put as much detail in as I can see. So if I don't see what it is, I do something a little different in there. But I do have some other pictures of these bikes with engines, so some of the missing links in here I can put together, which I will do later. So that's a pretty good start. Oh, what did he have for gloves? He didn't have gloves, he had his hands. That's right. So I will just draw his hands in there. We won't do that right now. We're going to do that one, the hands, a little bit later. But we could do, yeah, right around the front of his helmet in here. There's dark spots in here. So what I do when I do the helmets, let me move that up so you can see what I'm doing there, is I draw everything on the inside as if the outside didn't exist for the most part, but I do it in a little bit lighter colors than I need to, because then I can go back in and we'll add the highlights later. So it's that. I'm going to move to a 70% dark marker right now. That's 80. Where's my 70? There it is. Which is considerably lighter. But that'll give me the contrast I need. And I can button that up later. And the helmet's white, but it does have some shadows on the side of it, which we're going to hit with a cold gray 40. I'm going to come in here and just do a little bit of this. And later on in the week, when I get the colored pencils going, you'll see why I do this. Again, it's just giving it a little bit of shape, showing where the lights and darks are. It's got a double. It's a Shoei helmet, which is a nice damn helmet, actually. Chinwin has good taste. So that starts to lay out the shape of the helmet there. Like I said, it's white, but we're going to have shade on that side. So that gives you some look at the helmet. He has dark glasses on. Again, the dark glasses, I'm going to do a lot of what's in the background first, and then I'll go over the top of it with some washes of some dark, or of some warm gray colors over the skin tones, because then that'll give it that visibility, like you can see, because you can kind of see through them, but not really. So that's where we're going with that, which is kind of fun. But again, this is as we move along. So we're about an hour into this. I mean, of course, I've got a lot of time doing the actual drawing part, but that's not as fun to watch. So this part here is a lot more fun. We'll do this, and we'll keep doing it, doing some more things. Let's see here. And I think we're just about ready. Oh, I've got some more work to do on that arm up front. So we're going to go back into this arm section here. So I'm going to get that 70% marker back out. And we're going to we're going to get rolling with that. So now that I've got those on there, one of the things I can do is I can come back now with this and bring in more color. And as you see, you know, these are just washes. It's a lot like watercolor. I'll do the same thing on the other side here. So I'll come back up. Not all the way, because I want to keep it clean up on that top edge. But down here, do a little bit more. I mean, the same thing where the pants are, where there's some really dark lines. I've got the blue in there as a base. And there's the seam. That'd be pretty dark in the seam. And you can have these dark sections. There we go. And then his feet. They're kind of a medium to dark brown for the feet. We're going to go in there with a... This is kind of a bronze. This might be a little bit too light of a... No, not too bad. So I'm going to come in here with this first. Kind of delineate some of the lighter areas. And then light umber should be a lot closer. These colors are way too bright right now. They need to be muted down, but you have to start with some of these brighter colors. And we'll move darker as we go. This is kind of a French gray. You can see this is a little bit different kind of marker. It's actually the same Prismacolor marker, but this one, this is the old style, which worked really, really well. This marker's from the 80s or early 90s, and it's still working, which is pretty cool. So now I'm just going to throw the color right over the top of that. Whole bunch of marker right over the top of that. And that gives me that shoe, and then the one on the other side, we'll go back in, we'll do the same thing too, but we'll do that in a little different style. Let's see, bronze. There we go. All right, and that gives us the shoes. Have a little color in them now. So with that being said, I'm going to let's mark this down. So there it is. That's kind of the start of it right there. I'm going to bring it down to that. And I appreciate people watching. Thanks for showing up. It's been a lot of fun. We do you know, when these things are done, they kind of have that kind of look there. Some of the other things I've been working on, I'll show you as we go through. My little studio here. I'll flip this around. Up here, this is a fire painting I'm doing, a fire, and that's a barn. This one I'm not sure yet. This was one I completed a couple weeks ago of my car, and just a little tour of what I've got going on here. Nothing too exciting, but anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you're interested in anything you've seen here, you know, please reach out, send me a message, link. I've got it's Mad K Studio on everywhere. I'm on Instagram and YouTube and madkstudio.com. Yeah, I'll be at car shows around the Minneapolis area all summer long, doing all kinds of things. We're going to do some live painting right there at some of these shows. I just have to find some spots. So if you're a show promoter or anything that has a spot you'd like to have me come and work at, I will come and we can set something up where I'll be doing drawings or paintings right there on the premises. So anyway, whatever you're looking for, I can probably help you with it. So thanks for watching again. I appreciate it, and I want you all to have a great Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.